morning, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you're YouTube. So, we're out, it's October. I actually just got out purely to shoot a vlog. Normally I shoot vlogs when I'm on the way to do other things, but this morning I'm out purely to shoot a couple of vlogs. I've just finished one which will be probably uploaded before this one, or will be uploaded before this one, and just shooting another one now because we're in October and it's autumn, and we're getting to the point very soon where you might go 2 or 3 weeks without being able to ride. I don't ride for personal reasons in bad weather. I don't feel it's necessary to be considered a true biker to ride in bad weather, and the reason that I don't ride in bad weather is because I actually suffered some injuries 5 years ago now in an accident while commuting home from work on a 125, which nearly put me in a position where I couldn't ride at all. So what a terrible waste of riding ability and opportunity to have lost all the future rides because of commuting. You know, that's commuting on a winter's evening. So that's by the by. I don't ride in bad weather. I do commute by bike, but only in good weather, and it's an enjoyment thing for me, not a necessity thing. And if people think that doesn't make me a true biker, then that's their issue, not mine. But that's not what we're talking about. What we came to is what I was thinking while I was riding this, and I'm out here. Now I've got a couple of other bikes, you've seen them in other videos, including one which is really very, very, very potent. I mean, the Benelli Tornado is a very quick bike, and with the engine wound up and revving, it's exceptionally rapid and far more rapid than you would ever need on the road. And yes, modern proper superbikes are even faster, but it all becomes irrelevant. And I'm here now on a 27-year-old 600. And it's got 130 tyres on it, which look like bicycle tyres by comparison. In fact, I think you can buy a bicycle with tyres as wide as this bike now. And it's only got 90 horsepower, and it's only got 270mm brakes instead of 330, you know, things like that. Do you know what? None of that matters. I actually find this bike, in a lot of respects, as enjoyable, if not more enjoyable, than riding the superbike. Because riding a superbike, if you start to really get into it and have fun, you look down at the speedo and you're doing 130 miles an hour, and sometimes more, and you start to question, well, you know, I'm a cop with a radar gun away from not being able to ride a bike. So you start feeling a bit aware of the fact you're riding something that is so over capable for what you're doing. On a 600 that doesn't happen quite so much, and on an older 600 like this it really doesn't, because you can give it the beans through 3 gears and look down, you're doing 75 or 80. That's a slap on the wrist. And it does bring you to think, are we simply riding bikes that are pointlessly powerful? And some people say, oh, go straight into 1,000, you'll regret having a 600. What absolute nonsense. If you can't enjoy a 600, even an older 600, you probably want to look at your riding, because you're not getting the best out of it. Right, in these bikes, a skilled rider, I mean a properly skilled rider, someone like Guy Martin, John McGuinness, or any of the MotoGP riders, even on a bike like this, I guarantee you can't catch them on your 1,000. You just can't. You might think you can, but you can't. So the performance is not an issue. There is enough performance. There is absolutely enough performance to get you into trouble on this bike, but it's less intimidating. And the other bike that I ride a lot is also the CBR 600, which is, again, a great 100 horsepower, good little riding bike. You do not need more than that, and sometimes you actually get more enjoyment by having something that you can actually push a little harder and not worry about, because you don't have to sit there thinking, oh, I'm doing 130 miles an hour everywhere. Now if you're doing 130 miles an hour everywhere, sooner or later it's going to go wrong. It is only a matter of time. You might get away with it for 10 years, you might get away with it for 20 years, but sooner or later you're going to miscalculate something, like this Kia just did there, going too quick for the situation, going to miscalculate something, and it's going to go wrong, and at those speeds that could be it. So are 1000cc bikes good fun? Oh, absolutely. You know, not in a million years would I ever say they're not. I mean, they're amazing things to ride, absolutely mind-blowing. Do you need one? No, of course you don't be silly, you simply don't. Get some experience on your 600, and I'd suggest if you have a 1000cc bike, it's a good calibration tool to have something smaller as well, simply just to keep your mind in check. Now, there was a long period in the late 80s and early 90s where 252 strokes and 404 strokes really did have a very strong following, and these bikes, which are becoming quite collectible now, in fact very collectible now, actually were considered some of the best, most fun bikes on the planet. And that's still true now. I mean, these bikes only had about 60 horsepower in each case. The 252 strokes were about as powerful as the 404 strokes, but they were incredibly light, incredibly nimble, and they had, by comparison, more brakes and handling you could ever use. And a lot of people would say that to have something like, say for example, an FZR1000 and a Kawasaki K1S, they'd say, do you know what, the reality is the 250 is more fun, because you could hold more corner speed, you could change lines and take liberties that 1000 simply won't allow you to take. So is there too much of a good thing? Yep. If you're doing a lot of straighter roads, longer distances, you want the size. But if you're burning around back roads, don't be afraid of the smaller bike, you might find it's better for the job. A well-ridden 400 on a back road can be a very tough thing to catch, even with an experienced rider. So I think the road conditions get to the point now where it's harder and harder to go fast anyway. I mean, we're doing what, 58 miles an hour, there's a trailer up front, there's traffic all around. What can I do realistically that I can't do on this bike here? So yeah, ride what you ride and enjoy it. Don't sit there thinking, I wish I had 1000cc, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. Get on your bike, go out, ride it and enjoy it. It's just, you don't know, that next step on that you think might be the next big thing might turn out to be less fun than you think. If you like these videos, hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you soon.